you'll notice here a very important declaration by God. We shall love the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our strength. Now let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 18. Leviticus 19 and verse 18. It says there, speaking about our relationship with our neighbor, you shall not take vengeance, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. So how many great commandments do we have in the Old Testament? Number one, love supreme for whom? For God. And secondly, loving our what? Our neighbor. Which table of the law describes our love for God? The first four. Which table of the law describes our relationship with our fellow human beings? The last six. Now let's go to what Jesus had to say about this, because Jesus confirms what I'm saying. Matthew 22, verses 34 through 40. Matthew 22, beginning with verse 34. But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. Then one of them, a lawyer, by the way, he's not a secular lawyer, he's an expert in the writings of Moses, in the law of Moses. So it says, then one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Did we read that in the Old Testament somewhere? Yes, we read it in Deuteronomy chapter 6, right? So that's the first and great commandment. Notice verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So you'll notice that the law of God was structured in such a way that you have our duty towards God and our duty towards our fellow men. Let me ask you, does the civil government have the right to enforce the second table of the law? Does a civil government have a right to punish those individuals who steal? Yes. Does it have the right to punish those individuals who kill? Yes. Does it have a right to punish those who beat up on their parents? Yes. Does it have a right to prosecute those who speak false witness against somebody else and ruins their reputation? Absolutely. In other words, the second table of the law is the realm of the civil government. But the first table of the law, the civil government can have nothing to do with, because it has to do with our duty and responsibility and worship towards God. In other words, the civil government has been established to preserve the civil order. The first four commandments are off limits for the civil government. Now it's interesting that Jesus Christ, and now we're going to go to speak a little about Jesus, because his experience is actually going to be repeated in his people at the end of time. It's interesting that Jesus was never accused by the Jews of breaking the last six commandments of God's law.